Hi, this is Sinkat with Shoker Physical Therapy and Wellness, and today in studio we have our expert. His name is Vincenzo and he's here to talk about the orthotics. We do the custom orthotics and we have lots of clients who has benefited from the custom orthotics, but also there are a lot of clients who has a lot of questions about how we can help. Here we got the expert who has working in what, 2 states?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so he has helped many chiropractors and physical therapy clinic to get the machine for orthotics, and in last 2 years he has contact for almost like 3,000 clinics. So there are 3,000 clinics in this 2 states are having his machine and selling orthotics and help thousands of people. I'm gonna give it to him to give some introduction so people know exactly what you do and how we can help them with the orthotics.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and it's a true pleasure to be here. This is absolutely what I enjoy doing, is helping people. My name is Vincenzo, and I am the territory sales manager for Foot Levelers in Texas and Oklahoma. It's been quite an interesting journey. I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin, very small. There was a clinic there, Gonstead Clinic, iconic chiropractor, and that was one of my first legal jobs that I could work outside of my parents' restaurant where I grew up in. And coming over to this country, it was such an opportunity to not only understand the culture and really see the possibilities. Dreams do come true. And I thought I wanted to be a doctor, you know, and Gonstead was my first intro into that. And it was quite eye-opening what they did. And I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Oh my God. So I learned in this journey through various life experiences and education. I've got a psychology degree, a master's in counseling, education, and I've served in the U.S. military. So quite a diverse experience. Owned a restaurant for many years. Also was in the men's apparel industry because I have a great appreciation of clothing. But COVID hit in 2020 and that really devastated things for those two industries. And I happened to fall into a national retailer, and they did orthotics across the United States. So I had
different retailer.
Yes,
got it.
Different retailer. I didn't know anything about orthotics. I thought they were for old people. Why do I need them? I'm young. No worries, I'll check it out. And as part of that introduction, I got to see all kinds of people, from kids all the way to grandparents, coming in and getting help. And it was something that was eye-opening in what I learned, but I also didn't fulfill my full passion of helping people, and not how I wanted to help people.
Got it.
And so I left. I said, I'm not going to do this because it just wasn't the fit for me. And then I did get a call from Foot Levelers. Not even a month after. And I was wondering to myself, well, how could these be any different than those orthotics?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you think like Foot Leveler is different than the other retailers?
Complete difference. I mean, it was night and day. The national retailer was more based in podiatry. And Foot Levelers was founded by a chiropractor who had patients complaining of their feet, and so he sent them to a podiatrist, one of his closest friends. Unfortunately for those patients, they felt more pain. And so Dr. Mani, who started the company 70 years ago, was like, well, let me check out what are you prescribing? From one doctor to the other. And he's like, well, these are it. And they were hard acrylic, type stabilizing, immobilizing orthotics. And he's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, of course they're going to be in pain. So he researched and exclusively, found out about the foot and everything, the dynamic connection between the foot and the spine, and really revolutionized this industry of orthotics, creating a functional, dynamic, mobile orthotics. So to me, that is the complete difference.
Got it.
And it was something that involved researching 3 arches in the foot.
That's true, because many of patients, when I usually ask them some questions and ask them how many arches we have in our feet, and the answer is 1.
Correct.
Most of the time.
And that is the most common arch that most of the patients are going to know, are that medial.
Because I think the flat foot is just very common term, and that's what people know about it. But there are more to the arches than just the flat foot. So
and that's where I believe when Dr. Mani 70 years ago it was so revolutionary that he helped explain and help patients understand how those 3 arches support the rest of the body, and how important that everything starts with the foundation, and how each foot is different.
Yeah.
So you've got a great, great advantage having a 3D laser scanner to see where those arches are in those feet and those imbalances, because they go up the body, affecting your ankles, your knees, your hip, your back, all the way up to the neck.
So the scanner that we have in our clinic as well, so that scanner shows in detail about all those arches, all three arches.
All three arches.
Got
And
it.
there's 16 measurements based on that 3D image, that laser image, and we will take those and make custom orthotics for each foot, because why this is a big difference between the national retailer, but even another orthotics that people know about, Dr. Scholl's, Copper Fit, Power Step. There's so many out there in the industry, but they're all making the same mold. They're overcorrecting that medial arch. They're only focusing on that one arch. They're not focusing the differences between the 2 feet and the arches within those 2 feet.
Yeah, because both feet are different.
Correct. And so to me, this is a game changer. It really is. And it's life-changing for children.
Yeah, because even we get a lot of kids and who has lots of issue with the feet. So if you start early, it can make a big difference.
It's a big impact. And that's why I love what I do, because I get to work with doctors like yourself to really make that impact, make that change in a child or an adult that's having so many issues and so many problems, whether it's back, neck, shoulder. This helps them understand how we can better support them.
Yeah.
With all the treatments that you're doing, this is just complementary to that.
Makes sense. So tell me a little bit about like a custom versus generic, because I know there are many out there, because many times I've been asked from my patients that if I'm spending money on the custom orthotics, but versus in the store or any other like retailer, I can easily get some generic orthotics.
Yes.
So what's the difference? What is really customization mean?
So what customize really means is that we're going to take that 3D image, that laser image of your foot. And a lot of clinics do have the laser, but some even have the casting kits originally from 60 years ago that are still applicable. And we get both feet weight bearing. So we actually see those arches in that weight bearing state.
Got it.
So much different than if you're just casting in a natural state where there is no pressure and we don't know how the feet are functioning.
Yeah.
So now we've got that image and we can take those measurements and actually make each orthotic for each foot according to supporting those 3 arches. When you've got generic ones, they're going to mostly focus on one arch. And generally, it's overcorrecting that one arch. What orthotics are known to really treat mainly are plantar fasciitis, Sever's disease in children, bunions, diabetic neuropathies, neuromas, things of that nature. But those are all based on your feet and where your feet's arches and support are. So in order to actually be more effective, we need to actually know where those arches are and how to support them best.
And one of the things also noticed with the foot leveler orthotics, the quality of the material is different, because I checked like other product as well.
Yeah.
And when I checked the foot leveler, I did see the difference. It is definitely long lasting and a good material, not just some cheap material.
Yeah, and the prescription that we have on each of the patients is good for 2 years, but the orthotics can last anywhere up to 10 years. I've seen them even longer. But quality, beyond quality, we also have 100% money back.
That's another one. And that
100%.
How
There is
long?
no other company that's going to offer you a 100% money back guarantee.
Yeah, not with the custom one.
Correct.
Because you can't use it then.
No, nothing. So to me, that's why I also love that, we stand by that product. And
So that guarantee, that money back guarantee, how long they have to?
1 year. So
That's
1 year.
pretty long time.
Correct. I mean, so a lot can happen in 1 year and a lot of changes, but we also will modify. We'll also do whatever we can to make it better for that patient.
To make it more
Because ultimately,
customized.
we want the best results for your patients.
Yep.
We want to complement all your services and treatment.
So that's a big, like 1 year guarantee. I don't think any company out there is giving 1 year guarantee. Yeah, that's big for sure. What about the research? I know this company is for a long time, like as you mentioned, 70 years ago they started and all. So do you have any research to back up all the data? Do you have any kind of data that support that this orthotics are definitely far better than anything out there.
Yes. For the research, we actually have 37 peer-reviewed journal studies out there.
Okay.
Anywhere from low back, knee pain to blood pressure, heart variability, improved performance. There's such a variety. That's all on our website, footlevelers.com. They have access to seeing those studies and those results. There is no other company or in the industry for orthotics that has anything closely comparable. So to me, to have that really supports and validates how important and how effective orthotics are.
See, that's what I like about the foot leveler. That's why we got the machine. Has a guarantee, has a good material, has a good research to back up the data. And I myself has prescribed many orthotics in the clinic. I haven't got much, like maybe one pair I got returned. And that also, like sometimes when you have too many things going on, you can't just depend on one thing, you know?
We have 31 orthotics now, so there's such a large variety from prescribed flip-flops, sandals, shoothotics, and orthotics. That there is such a wide array of product that sometimes it can be overwhelming.
Yes.
But that's where I can be a resource to help navigate.
Exactly. So that was my next question. How do you choose? Because I know you have lots of varieties of the orthotics. So when we look at the scan, we are the one when we do the assessment, because we also do the complimentary assessment for the client. So not only customization, we make it truly customized. We literally assess the patient, look at the feet, do some tests to find out what it is. And one of the things that I noticed, like, I usually put a note in a section before I order it. So all those findings that I have done here in the clinic, they do make a changes based on the findings. So they make really customized based on that, for sure.
Well, it helps our lab, which is in Roanoke, Virginia, headquartered, to focus on that scan, particularly if they have plantar fasciitis, or if they have a tailor's bunion, or if they have a neuroma on one of the second toes, or wherever that may be. Now they can actually target, specialize, and customize that area for that patient.
How do we choose which orthotics are best for them? Because I know you have variety of, and I know you have different types depend on how active they are, what kind of lifestyle they have. Based on that, we can select particular orthotics. So give some example, like, what is best for what?
So my most go-to is the InMotion Plus.
Okay.
It's got far infrared rays treated technology on the top cover. This fabric helps with blood flow, muscle elasticity, but also has a lot of performance. Propulsion, 130% much more propulsion, and 50% much more shock absorption. This is really great for all people. I wear them most of the time. Great for sneakers. So anybody that wants to be active or is active, it's really great. Then it kind of depends on your shoes and your selections of shoes. Just like one orthotic is not for all shoes, because some people are wearing dress shoes, or some people are wearing sandals. So then things have to differentiate. But let's say you've got a sneaker, so this would be great. Another option that I love that's also great is the Ultra Active top. It's got a great silver infused fabric to help with odor and moisture. Where you sweat the most is your feet. Really helpful to have something for that. Along with that, we have for runners, specifically the XP3 Plus. I love this one. Even if you're mall walking or just active, in general, you don't necessarily need to be running. This is lightweight, and it's got full mobility. So it's just great to have that person really support in that active lifestyle. So I enjoy prescribing that for patients. We've got one of my ultimate favorites, the Parflex, because I'm a golfer. So any golfers out there? This is one of our peer-reviewed studied orthotic. It actually has been reviewed, and it increased performance 15 to 20 yards.
Wow. Just by adding the orthotics.
So to me, that is something of value, because I've golfed all my life, and I've generally hit drives 250 to 270. Coming on over to foot levelers, this actually put me into the 300-yard mark, because when you're golfing with your friends and they see that kind of explosion, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. Makes a lot of bragging rights.
So how does it help?
Great question. So I have flat feet. And we treat anywhere from flat feet to high arches to expecting mothers. So wide range. But I have flat feet, so it gives me more support for those flat feet to work optimally. Because the foot, and I always kind of use a demonstration, your foot primary function is to absorb and disperse that energy. And if it's working optimally, all three arches are doing that like so. Equal pressure on that heel and arch. I have very severe pronation where it's flat. So each step I take is very, very much all that impact transferring up the body. Where now I've got the orthotic with the three arches supporting, and I can actually be more optimal. So it does increase my pelvis balance. So now I can perform a lot better and be more effective and efficient. Also, club head speed, and everything is increased and better. So that gives you those results. And to me, like I said, I think it's just incredible and worth everything on the golf course, for sure. We've got one of my favorites, the Elite Comfort. This is like having a foot spa.
Oh, really? Okay. I can see the thickness too.
Yes, it's a little thicker, but really highly recommended for people with diabetic neuropathy. Anybody with foot sensitivities, neuromas, bunions. It's really, really great. And it is like the ultimate comfort. Like having pillows on your feet. We have different varieties.
As we can see, there's a 1, there's a 2, and there's a 1 here. So it's all like, I don't think so that many orthotics out there, you can see that. You customize all these 3 arches based on that individual's feet. Wow.
And you know, how we customize is we use that scan and how we need to modify those orthotics. Each of the arches, how that stabilization is going to take effect in the orthotic. So to me, there's a lot of factors. There is no way you're going to get that from a generic brand orthotic that just really only supports one.
Yep, that's true. I found one orthotics when I was ordering for one of the patients. It was a short one, which you can put it in different shoes.
That's great. We have a dress length.
Okay.
And we have variations from a leather top for a dress shoe versus a fabric top for more performance.
Okay.
So we can kind of vary how you want to support your foot in that shoe. Primarily, those are going to be in more tight-fitting shoes or dress shoes. And we also have them for women in different heels, up to 2-inch, 1-inch, and 2-inch heels, and ballet flats, which offer really not a lot of support.
So who is the ideal person who wants to get the orthotics? Like, you know, if someone having issue with back pain, knee pain, like, or ankle pain or foot pain, or like, you know, if someone is just like noticeably, they don't have any issue, they don't have any kind of problems, but they do see, okay, I may have like flat foot. So who should buy this?
So to me, all people should. Because it does improve in such a variety of ways your life. and you don't know what you don't know. Like, I came into this industry not knowing anything about orthotics. And I've seen such great impacts across the board. From people with pain to people that didn't have any foot pain but had other ailments, to teachers out there that are on their feet all day that just complain, changing their life by giving that support because they're on their feet all day. It's been incredible to see how it benefits everyone. So to me, there really isn't a certain type, but definitely much more for those people that do have any type of pain that we can help make that a whole lot better for them.
Yeah, and I tell people that like 1/3 of your life you're spending on the feet. Throughout the day, you've been standing up, walking around, 7-8 hours of sleep, but then rest of the day you're on your feet, either sitting down or walking around or standing. So I tell people that, okay, you need to invest in good things. Like if this something that can help you in the future to prevent any kind of medical bills, starting from back pain, neck pain, knee pain. And believe me, I have few clients who immediately seen the results. Like they put it on and then next day they said, okay, I was walking correct. I have videos, a couple of videos I took where like patient was walking waddling gait, like you know, he was going side to side, you know, when walking, and we put the orthotics, we did the custom orthotics. That particular patient, I remember, like, you know, we did literally customization because one leg was shorter than the other. So I had to call, like, you know, the people, like foot leveler, hey, this is, I want specific for this height. You know, the one leg would be shorter, so I need that height on the one orthotics versus other. And they did make all those changes. And we put it on, and immediately I can see that their walking is straighter. So it makes a big difference when you have true customization.
And what also that helps patients understand how the feet contribute to everything that's going on in their body. It's the base.
Your foundation has to be strong.
It does. It absolutely does, with houses, buildings. And I love using nature as our example of how important that support is. I mean, look at bridges, arches. If you go through a tunnel and that tunnel is through a mountain, you're driving through that arch support. You're not praying that it's going to come down because you believe it's strong enough to support that mountain and you can drive through that tunnel.
Yep.
So to me, you spend 2/3 of your life on your feet. It's important to invest and know how to best support those for the rest of your body.
Yep. Also, I get a lot of questions. Some of the patients that they say they tried some orthotics before, even like in a good one, but in the beginning they don't like it, you know, because I have few clients who feel the difference right away. Like they put it on and they say, "Wow, it's a big difference."
Yeah.
I have few clients who said like, in the beginning it's like, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
It's kind of hurting a little bit more. So why is it like that?
The bumps and the lumps is what I call that. And I tell patients, this is kind of like going to the gym. It's a workout for your feet. So, it's normal to have that soreness. If you overdo it at the gym on that first day, the next day is the worst day because you're so sore, you're aching. So that's the same with orthotics because you are realigning all those ligaments, tendons, muscles. There's so much going on, moving parts. So you can't overdo it. You want to break that in. Just like going to the gym. You're not going to start off with heavy weights right away. You're going to build up to it. You're going to get stronger, better. And your feet are no different. And that's so much more important because they're very sensitive.
Yeah. And I think that's the reason, because foot leveler are not available in kind of retail store. You're available only in the clinics.
Correct.
So the clinician can also do the assessment and then they can give the information to the foot leveler so they can customize. First thing I ask when someone comes to the flat foot, do you have flat foot? Do you know you have a flat foot? Oh yeah, I know that flat foot. Then my next question is that, do you know, is it flexible or rigid? Then they say like, not sure. Because I think the orthotics are different for flexible versus rigid.
Correct.
So those kind of changes, we need to make sure we make those information available to the people who are customizing it and to the client as well so they can make a better decision.
Foot levelers is only offered through a licensed healthcare provider, mainly chiropractors or physical therapists. There are some medical doctors out there as well, but it needs to go through a licensed practitioner because there's so much more education involved in how it works and customization and specialization. To me, you're not going to get that in a generic, just jumping on some kind of thermal scanner and getting your Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah. One last question.
Yes.
People who have tried some orthotics in the past and they didn't like it, or they have it just laying somewhere in the house, or people who are thinking, I'm not sure about it, what message you have for those people?
Well, there is really no risk involved. That's the great thing about the 1-year warranty, full money back. This is not like any other orthotic out there. There is no other research out there to support the way that we support people and patients. So to me, if you want to see improved results in feeling better, performance, and just being happier, because there is a lot of unhappy people out there with their feet. So to me, if you want to take a chance, but it's really not taking a chance, because it's 100%.
I agree. So that's true. It's 100% money back guarantee. There's no risk involved, and we have a lot of good reviews and research to support it. So if you guys have any question about any orthotics and if you're still kind of wanting to know more about it, he's always available to answer any questions. You can email us or text us. Our email address is info@shorecarewellness.com and our phone number is 469-212-8888. Thank you so much for coming today.
Appreciate it.
And giving all the information, because this will definitely help a lot of people to understand if you have any question about orthotics. So
thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure.
All right. Thank you.